There you are. Yay.
And I'm listening and working.
I said she's working in her print shop. She's literally, everybody, she's literally working in her print shop right now. I'd like to introduce you, though, now that you're here. Dr. Alyce Herndon is the president and owner of Onyx Business and Print Center located in Ferguson, Missouri, which is a woman-owned, veteran-owned, full-service commercial printing company. She's also the founder of Onyx Business Solutions, a not-for-profit organization that partners within the community to offer entrepreneurial training and is credited for helping over 2,700 firms achieve success throughout the region. Dr. Herndon has been awarded the top 100 persons to know to succeed in business in 2018, the Melton Lewis Award for Equal Justice by Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, and was nominated to be included in the Hall of Fame of Small Businesses for 2019. Dr. Herndon, her story is pretty incredible. She opened up a print shop in the middle of pandemic by herself. And Dr. Herndon is going to be speaking to us about how to solopreneur, because that's what she does. Dr. Herndon, can you just start with a little more about your background? Because this is really your first time speaking to all the girls who print, and I really want them to understand why you are just so amazing.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I am ecstatic about being here on this platform to show that I am a girl who prints, right? My name is, again, Dr. Alyce Herndon. I work with small business owners. I received my doctorate in business from Walden University. My doctorate is, again, in business, and my subject was strategies women business owners use to sustain their enterprises beyond 5 years. I knew what failure looked like, but I wanted to write in such a way that I can show what success looks like. What success strategies do you use to sustain your enterprise? And the biggest thing is the very thing that we're doing today, that's connecting and relationships. And I love being in the space that I am in. I, again, am so excited about being here with Deborah and enjoying all of the speakers thus far.
So I need to know, is Clean Cut with you today?
Clean Cut is here.
Clean Cut works in the print shop. She doesn't mess around with that X-Acto blade.
Right.
So one day you're sitting in your house and you're like, I've got an idea. I want to open a print shop.
So to be totally honest with you, during the pandemic, I have a consulting company, Onyx Business Consulting. And Onyx is the brand, right? One of the things that I do, I meet with small business owners to talk about strategies they could do to either launch, grow, or pivot in business. And I'm having this epiphany myself as I'm talking to other business owners that I need to do something different. What is the what else that I could possibly do in business that will set me aside, that will allow me to continue to grow in business? I started doing obituaries for people who had lost their lives due to COVID. And I was touching so many families. I was doing 2 or 3 obituaries a week. And I'm like, geez. But I was going to a young lady who had a print business. And she says, you really ought to consider going into printing. And I said, I don't need to go into printing. And when I really stepped back and started thinking about it, the very next day, I get a phone call of a business that was part of a franchise that I won't mention, was retiring, and they were going to sell all of their equipment. Interesting. Then I learned of another printing company that was also retiring, and I'm like, okay, I hear the heavens talking to me. And I immediately started interning with the franchise business on a weekly basis. So I told her, I said, I don't want you to pay me anything. This is paid internship for me, where I can just come in, I can learn how to quote, I can learn how to order. I can learn how to cut. I can learn this industry, but I'm doing it on a fast track. And she says, okay. So it was a woman's handshake, literally. So the power of women, we have the ability, as previous speakers have shared, we have the ability to make decisions and make things happen because it really is about girl power. And when we acknowledge our girl power, that is where we can advance one another, right? And so I'm interning on a weekly basis. That was in April of last year. I interned for 6 months, and October 1st, I opened Onyx Business and Print Center here in downtown Ferguson.
I mean, just incredible. But you have a business degree, you have a doctorate in business, you know what I'm saying? So that might have given you confidence and strength that someone like me, who does not have a degree in business, I'm going to need to go to a bank and try to explain to them why I need a loan. And I think that is where a lot of women get frozen. And I honestly believe it starts way back, boys are good at math and science and girls are good at, draw art and writing, right?
And sitting behind a desk and just taking notes. Yeah.
Right. So can you discuss any sort of inside information or ways of people to get around it, or a simple way that they can find out if they can even qualify for a loan to start their business?
Absolutely. So as I shared with you, and as Deborah has shared, I have a nonprofit organization, Onyx Business Solutions, where I host business development courses for those that are in the launch phase, that are really trying to get their ideas out of their head and on a paper. And then for those that are looking to grow or pivot in business, we have a session for you called Workshop and Business Opportunity. Okay, little plug. But it was during that time that I would have speakers come in, and I have banking relationships with at least 5 or 6 bankers. And it was important for me to take the very information that I was sharing with others and apply it to myself. So I started evaluating, who do I want to do business with? And I made a decision of the bank that I would go to and called the vice president, who was a speaker for my class. And I told her my vision of what I wanted to do. And I told her that I was getting ready to acquire all of this equipment. And she says, let me ask you this. Do you have a relationship with the person with whom you're purchasing the information, all of your equipment from? Do you have a relationship with her where you can ask for their financials? I said, well, I did my homework to look at how various companies in the area could, how much they were making in the last 3 to 5 years. With me being new in the industry, I didn't have any financials. So I did ask, will you be able to black out your information, all identifying or qualifying information, and I need the numbers for the last 5 years. Just like that, because I asked and had a relationship, she shared with me her financials. I charted it out and showed how progressive the numbers were over the last 5 years, and attached her financial statements to that business brief document that I had. When I sat down with the banker who was going to speak to the underwriter, she says, I want to know your story. And so we, again, built relationship. I can't tell you how important relationship is. And it was during that time that I I argued, okay, so I know I'm new. I know you guys feel like you're taking a risk on me, but I need a line of credit. She says, how much of your own money are you going to invest? And I said, well, I can match what you're going to give me. How about that? So I pulled from my retirement. I pulled from my insurance, and I told him I'm going to match everything that you're going to give to me. And so when she went to the table, she was the voice for me because I'm not at the table.
She was your accomplice and your advocate.
She was my advocate. She was my sponsor. However you want to make that qualifying statement, she needed to understand my story, but you also have to be able to articulate what it is that you want to accomplish in this business. And I told her, I said, I'm coming into a male industry and I know it. I'm a new kid on the block and I want to be able, yes, relationships are better than women. I wouldn't say that.
No. She said, who is better at relationships than women?
Oh, baby, women.
Right.
Women.
That's what she said.
Because I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Yeah. Women hands down, because we have a nurturing spirit. We want to understand and we want to be supportive of one another, even though we hear sometimes the latter. That's not true. It depends on the circle in which you're in. And I am so happy to say I've got a good circle right now. I've leveled up. But she argued for me my finances, my knowledge, and the fact that I have had business experience with owning a nonprofit. Well, not owning a nonprofit, but being the founder of a nonprofit and being an owner of a consulting company. Now I have a one-stop shop. When she called me and told me, we want to ask you one more thing. And I said, let me tell you something. I'm betting on myself.
Right.
And I know that this will carry me through. This will carry me through, and this is my legacy. I can leave it to my daughter. I can leave it to my grandgirls. And this can be generational, but I have to set the foundation correctly. I said, how much I bet on myself? I'm putting my house up. She says, oh, I was going to ask if you had collateral. I said, put my house up. That's how much I bet on me. I stand here today. I sit here today. But
should I just swab her then? No, we need urine, right? We need urine for a baseline.
Okay. Sorry. I think I fixed that. Go ahead.
I sit here today and I share with you, I have not touched my line of credit. It's still sitting. The business is profitable. And I know that oftentimes we look at ourselves and we can potentially be unsure. I'm not going to say afraid. We're unsure because we as women, we try to tap into all of our bases to make sure that we're dotting our I's and we're crossing our T's and that everything has a check and balance. But I often tell people, if I am sitting and I'm telling other people to start their business, come on, the water is fine. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Your pricing is good. Everything. How can I tell you to do this and I'm not doing it? So let me jump in the water with you and show you really how to swim. And so life vest on and everything, right? Line of credit is my life vest. But I haven't had to need it because I was able to tread water. I was able to swim and able to do all of the things. My admonishment to each and every woman that's here today, and even those that you might be connected with, if you can work for somebody else and make them a hell of a lot of money, if you can grow their business, if you can carry out their vision and their mission, you can do it for you. You have the power already on the inside of you to do it. So when we talk about what is your strength, that is your strength. your superpower.
Do you think that your belief in yourself has come from life experience? In other words, can a 25-year-old feel just as empowered as you?
I believe that life experiences have been very helpful. I'm ex-military, so I've always...
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And so I've always been in that male-dominated area, which is competitive. Men teach you how to be competitive. Okay, no problem. I can do it too. But I believe that with the right mentor or with the right environment, a 25-year-old can be just as empowered if they have the right circumstances and experiences around them. So yes, but I do believe, and I'm a baby boomer, that my experiences have helped guide me to the area in which I'm now serving. My first job as a printer was in the military. It was the job nobody else wanted to do. So that path has come full circle for me. I'm back to doing that thing nobody else wanted to do, but I'm loving
it. And you're crushing it. And you are just such an inspiration. And I do want to, let everybody know how we met each other, because I think it's really important. And in 2020, I started a list on a print media center for Black and women and minority owned print shops and print related businesses, as a way that I could, help, there's no better way to help communities that you want to help than to actually put money into them. and because you might be in a place where you're buying lunch next door, or you need shoes from across the street, and it all matters. So I started this list, and as more people, brands and agencies started, really getting on board that they needed to be proactive as well, and be not just allies, but be accomplices and advocates and put their money where their mouth is, they started searching. And Google has rewarded us by making that the #1 search result if you search for that. And I believe you found me that way.
Exactly. I was Googling organizations that support Black and brown printers, especially women. And I came across Girls Who Print. Interesting. And I sent a message. I'm interested. I need a support system. I just want to connect with other women that are doing what I'm doing. I know I'm not the first and I won't be the last, but I just need that support system. And Deborah called me. She emailed me, and then we set up a time where we could sit down and talk. And when I say what was supposed to be a 15-minute conversation turned almost 45 minutes, we had such a great connection. And it's important. That's why I said this is everything to me, because this was on in the shop, and that's all we're listening to today.
Right. Wow.
This is important to have a connection, because as you level up, your circle becomes smaller.
Right.
And people don't understand your thinking. They don't understand your motivation, all of those things. And to have a group of women and have a circle of women that are supportive and that will help empower you and will pour into you is important. And so I'm just so thankful.
We are thrilled that, you have joined us here today and shared your knowledge and empowerment message of strength and belief in yourself. And you should know that you have 9,000 women who have your back right now. So and even more after this is out and there's replays. And I just want to thank you so much for literally being in your shop. And hey, Clean Cut, and make sure she knows that we all say hello to her back there. And I shared a picture yesterday after we spoke. I think we spoke yesterday or Monday, and you showed me that you hung a Girls Who Print logo on your wall in your shop. And I don't want to start crying again, but it just means so much to me that you have embraced us as much as we want to embrace you. So Dr. Herndon, thank you so much for your time and knowledge. And we will be back to tap into it. So thank you again so much.